This changes everything for the Chicago Bears as we continue on with preseason practices and getting into our preseason games. What kind of impact does this have on the team going forward? Welcome to Bears Digest. My name is Dylan Guinzy, and welcome to the show. If you have not subscribed already, please do so for continuous updates on the Chicago Bears. Yesterday, Tuesday, August 5th, the Chicago Bears had an absolute cracking helmets type of practice. It was physical, it was nasty. There was a lot of stuff that happened, and we are going to break it down on the show. So yesterday, just kind of starting off, Ben Johnson came into the room into the morning and told the players that, hey, this is going to be one of those practices where you come out and show it. We had an off day yesterday. We have an off day on Wednesday, August 6th. So come out and show it. Show me what you got. This is a competition every single day, and boy, did they do so. We're going to start here with this quote from Brad Biggs. He is on the beat for the Chicago Bears, and he was there, as he always is. He is very tapped in with the Chicago Bears. Here's what he had to say about this practice on August 5th. Bears wrapped up a 2-hour, 2-minute practice that was the most physical in terms of live hitting that I've seen since the early Lovie Smith era. They got after it today. That is absolutely what we love to see. Let me tell you why that changes everything. First, Ben Johnson does what he says. He comes in the morning and says, hey guys, this is what we're going to do today. I need to see you guys show this on the field. And that's exactly what happened. They were cracking helmets. They were hitting each other. And that's the exact type of aggressive nature that Ben Johnson breeds. And you see this a lot of times with coaches, like Dan Campbell and things like that. Sometimes those coaches don't actually show it. We've seen Matt Eberflus in the past, Matt Nagy in the past say that they're going to be aggressive, say that they're going to be getting after it in practice, and they don't actually mean it. Here, they meant it, and they showed it on the field, and it was absolutely spectacular. We need this team to get hits in. We need them to get reps in because, quite frankly, they have not been physical at all on the field the last couple years. And quite honestly, also, they've been soft. I think in the Matt Eberflus era, he was a great defensive mind. He was a great defensive coach, but he kind of played soft, and the players showed that. Just by the way that he would call defensive plays, they would kind of play that shell coverage. They wouldn't play a bunch of man, and Dennis Allen is going to change that, and Ben Johnson is going to breathe that into the team as well. So just kind of going off of that, we also have a tweet from Patrick Finley. The Bears just finished the most physical practice I've seen in my life. Patrick Finley is also a reporter that has been with the Bears through the Sun Times for quite a while, and he's seen a lot of practices through a lot of different regimes and coaching staffs. So these people telling you this information is pretty awesome, honestly. Just from everything that they've seen throughout their careers, them telling you about these practices when it was kind of closed off to the public. Them telling you this is, it's truthful, right? You can take their word for it. You can believe them. And when it's coming from everybody, that is also different too. It's not just one person, or a fan that's attending, Fan Fest at training camp. These are all of the reporters. And these are the normal people that are there at every practice. These are the folks that are talking to Ben Johnson and the players on a daily basis. So this is important. Just seeing this from Ben Johnson and the Bears, he's serious. He means business. And this is what the players are now taking into effect. When coaches come in sometimes a little too brash or a little too harsh on their teams, sometimes players react in not so great ways to that. Now we'll see how that progresses into the regular season as they start playing games and whether wins or losses come about throughout that. How do injuries look from being so aggressive and everything of that sort? We'll see how that plays out. But overall, you're seeing the players feed into that. And when they've been feeding into that, they have also been taking that to the practice field as well. I'm going to pull up a graphic here and a quote from Tyreek Stevenson. So Tyreek Stevenson, the Bears' 2-hour practice midday Tuesday was every bit as feisty as expected and had several scuffles. As soon as it started, it was obvious the defense was eager for confrontation. That's what we should practice like every day, cornerback Tyreek Stevenson said. Cornerback Nashawn Wright added that Coach Ben Johnson let us know today is the day to prove it. And that was the type of practice that he wanted. So just going back to that, this is so important for the Bears defense and the offense as well to get kind of a viewpoint of, what that physicality looks like. But also these players are feeding into that. This is what the players wanted. The players said last year, as Matt Eberflus was fired and let go from the team, they said they wanted to be coached hard. They wanted to be held accountable. All of these things were things that they wanted, and Ryan Poles checked those boxes by hiring Ben Johnson to this team as their head coach. And honestly, Dennis Allen is just as big of a part as that as well. His defense is feisty, they are nasty, and they are all showing that and coming together into these practices. And yesterday there was a lot of scuffles, there was a lot of mishaps, maybe some penalties that would have been in real games, but they were getting after it. The players hated each other for that brief amount of time. And that's okay. That happens. The best teams do have those scuffles. They have those fights in practice because they are so overly competitive and they want to be great. So this is important coming from a team that has been soft on the defensive side of the ball and offensive side of the ball for the past couple of years. And we really need to get back to that Chicago Bears style of play, that monsters of the midway sort of action. So going into these practices here going forward, we'll see how the injuries look after a practice like this, who's practicing, who's not practicing, things like that. Coming into Friday after this day off here on August 6th, and then Thursday they'll probably have some sort of a walkthrough, things like that. But they do have a joint practice coming up with the Bills on Friday, or Dolphins on Friday, excuse me. And I'm curious to see how that looks. I would assume there's not going to be a full live period like you see Ben Johnson and staff doing in our practices against each other. But they need to face another opponent. They need to see somebody else on the other side of the field. I think that's important now as we get closer to the season. They want to get back to facing other people. You don't want to keep getting those reps where they're just cracking helmets. They're starting to get overly upset at one another. That's okay a little bit, but as that progresses too much, you don't want, players starting to resent each other in a way or anything like that. So they need this. I want to see them cracking some helmets against Miami, especially on the offensive and defensive lines. We will see how that progresses, and we will be here for all of it with the updates and the news. Thank you guys for joining today. This is another video with Bears Digest. Please, if you have not already, turn those noties on for more updates going forward, and we will see you next time.